how do you help Lebanon implement systemic reform? Good afternoon. My name is Daisy Gideon. I'm a journalist and I'd like to address the elephant in the room. Kristina, you spoke about the fact that money is not the problem, the environment is the problem, and Frederico, you spoke about the necessary reforms that have been drummed into our brains over and over again. The recent IMF report clearly articulated how intractable the Lebanese government is to reform. But Kristina, you said something very important about the EIB, which is that you advocate. You're an advocate for systemic reform. So what I'd like to know is, how is that being applied? How are you using your power, your influence, your infrastructure, your connections, your network? You are all so powerful. This group here, but also you're connected to the most powerful people in the world. How do you help Lebanon implement systemic reform?
What we try to do is to explain, here in Lebanon specifically, explain to work with government and explain to MPs and the purposes of the laws that they should be passing. There are many people out there that are reform-oriented. Somehow, though, things don't get done. That's the main issue. Our role is mainly to agree on a roadmap with government, with the state of Lebanon, as we did upon the request for financial assistance from the fund, and to support them in implementing what we call the prior actions, the reforms. But so we're dancing, but we need it. So it's also up to government and parliament to take action.
We're seeing that they're not going to execute any orders that will take away from their influence and power. So this is where we're dancing, and people on the streets are suffering.
First, I want to thank you for your question. I think it's perfectly placed towards the conclusion of the discussion. So we've reached a culmination of long-term systemic issues and failures, right? And we're at a critical juncture, like Frederico said. So what does advocacy entail, right? First of all, we coordinate closely as a community. And trust me, it's hard, because there's a host of actors. I've never seen so many UN agencies and DFIs and individual donors and NGOs around the table, sort of trying to all push their agendas. If you want a sense of scale, what would we be willing to put on the table? Federico mentioned sort of, an additional 8 billion could be raised off the back of an IMF program, but the question is not about the appetite. So what are we doing, right? We're doing our rounds diligently, whether it comes to the authorities, the decision makers in this country, the public sector. We talk with ministers, we talk with the central bank, we talk with the caretaker prime minister, we talk to the MPs, we talk to local authorities, we talk to banks, we talk to non-banking financial intermediaries, we talk to NGOs, we talk to activists. We're actually out there going on field visits, seeing an infrastructure that we have built that does not work, seeing temporary tent settlements, sort of where children are not getting basic education. We're seeing small Lebanese villages where the formal middle class is slowly but surely sliding into poverty. We've been to the central drug warehouse where you have seen the shortages in the medication supply. So I just wanted to reassure all of you that we're not blind to anything that's happening in this country. Now, how do you translate this advocacy into results? Like I said, we need better coordination. We're doing our best to coordinate, at least with the DFI community, to align our messaging with the differences in our mandates, because our mandates are different, right? But let me end on a different point, and that is, this is an issue of and a massive challenge related to this country that we're all in, that many of us love, including myself. Lebanon can only be the bad people for so long before people lose patience. So beware the fatigue in the international community as well.